Okay, we're back with the Kingdom of Canada. See what's changed in Europe. From a distance. That's where we're going. That's where we're going to return to, Europe. Hopefully. Back in a sec. I'm just going to get myself a drink. Alright. Oh, I just realized I don't think I have the thing that I wanted. I'm gonna have to restart the game. I didn't really do any setup, so that's alright. Oh fuck it, I won't play as... I don't want to play Iron Man, actually. It's another thing as well. "11 years since the collapse of the United Kingdom in 1925. Oh, Plutaka. Kayes. Nice. Yeah, we're going to go with this option. So an increase in authoritarian democracy is really great. We need to encourage the king's exercising of exercising power by decree. Oh, nice. We need conscription. Fuck. More political power is nice. No, I think I prefer the social conservatives. The social conservatives are pro exile, so they were unfairly provoked by the evil Mackenzie King. Fall of the Kingdom of Finland. To what? Oh, to the nationalists. As again, Lang is the Dominion of Canada, pro-monarchist, with autocratic tendencies. Currently, right now, trying to influence the election in favour of the Conservatives under R.B. Bennett, who are posing as the main opposition to Mackenzie King. R.B. Bennett is a very strong advocate of the British monarchist exiles. I should explain. So this mod Kaiserreich is set in an alternative dimension where universe where Germany wins World War One, and France and Britain fall to communist revolt in the 20s. I think for Britain, specifically in 1925, but I think in France is a bit earlier. And essentially, the revolution exported itself to Britain. So all the exiles, including the king, King George V, fled to the Kingdom of Canada. And so now Edward VIII is in power, and he is very much virulently pro-war against the Comintern. Unfortunately, things have stalled at this current moment because of the German economic crash called the Black Monday, which happened actually this year. So I'm going to have to fix my economy at this current moment. Council votes on limited conscription in volunteer forces. Nice. This is the Legation Council. So you got the Legation Council. Over here in China. Give me a sec. I just got to fix something on YouTube. Where are we? Restrictions. Central Asia looks a bit different from what I saw last time. I think they might be considering adding focus trees for those. Be interesting to see. We're not a part of the Legation Council, but we are getting stuff for it. Okay, cool. So the leader of the Legation Councils is an American. Japanese Asia declares... Okay, so the Indo-Chinese are fighting against the East German Navy under Helmut von Mucke. Hi, how's it going? Oh, yeah. You have, you mean, Latin script. You don't use, Cyrillic. Is that what you're getting at? Alright, at a campaign stop in Hamilton, R.B. Bennett was aggressively questioned by a French-Canadian reporter over the Conservative plans for conscription, outright implying that the Conservatives intend to send French-Canadians into the front lines in order to eliminate their threats to Anglophone domination. Unsurprisingly, the tempestuous Bennett's response was to attack the man, causing a near riot that dominated the newspapers for days. So this guy really doesn't like these these Anglophiles. Sorry, these Francophiles. Well, I'm gonna have to support this guy. Coming off a campaign based on Kaiserreich dissatisfaction with the economic downturn and threat of national conscription, Maurice Duplessis and the Union Nationale have won a majority government in the Quebec provincial elections. Duplessis has sworn to fight any plan to enact conscription, and there are even threats of calling for a referendum on the future of Quebec in a confederation should that happen. Well, I don't like Quebec, so we're going to have to fight these guys. Oh no, it's fine. I don't mind. And then I'm gonna make once I've done with the IEDC, which is extremely useful, I gotta say, because it's essentially like a independent pool of political influence that you could use to improve your economy, which is pretty great. Once I've created the IEDC, I will create the ISAC. Rise of the Nationalist Party. The main competition for liberals among those opposed to conscription appears to be the Nationalist Party, led by Henry Herbert Stevens. They started as a Republican and anti-monarchist faction, but has evolved into a stance which would see Canada pulled out of the Entente entirely. Stevens is expected to win in his British Columbia riding, but so far has been unable to gain traction in Quebec, where the party could do more than eat at the Liberal domination there. Oh, thanks. Alright. So we're going to start inviting all of these guys into the IEDC. The Imperial Economic Development Council is what it's called, in full. It's just an acronym. And now we're going to invest in Canada. We're going to get some military factories, and then we're going to invite the West India Company. Nice. Belgians declare independence from Germany. Cool. Yeah, that's very interesting. So something could happen here. Nah, they're on their own. We're not paying your debt. French Republic joins the IEDC. South Africa has joined the IEDC. Former Kingdom of Italy has joined the IEDC. India has joined the IEDC. The Conservatives win the election. Okay, we're gonna go and invest in the West Indies because they need it. The King has taken to the airways to voice support for the winners of the recent election, urging all Canadians to accept the democratic process and announce his full support of R.B. Bennett and the Conservatives, of course, because the Conservatives and R.B. Bennett support the exiles and the King, so people have spoken and placed their faith in the hands of a new government. He stated, I hope it will be, and believe it will be the right choice, and that together we can move forward and find the right path for Canada and for the Empire in the years to come. War with Britain. War with the communards. I'm going to draft Bill 7. Debate on the proposed Bill 7, C7, we'll call it. So Bill C7 is an economy related, it's economy and conscription related bill. It is extremely controversial because the Quebecois don't want to be conscripted into a future war against the communists because, spoilers, the Quebec are big, the Quebecois in this universe, which are the French-speaking Canadians, are massive supporters of the communists in Europe because, well, they're French and the communists are French. So, anyways, so the debate on the proposed bill and its promises of sweeping changes to Canada's armed forces, industry, and national security has now begun, with the Conservative Party's slim hold on power. Passing the bill might prove challenging, and with a defeated bill comes a fallen government. So passing the bill is of extreme importance. Prime Minister Bennett might have to consider compromising with the loyal opposition, though not so much that it angers his own allies. We're going with extensive conscription. Mustafa Kemal has seized power. Nice. Oh, they've elected Huey Long. The communists are going to be powerful, I think, because of this. It gives the communists legitimacy. Huey Long in real life was actually a pretty good governor, I gotta say, from what I've read. Like, he was actually really quite effective. Recovery from the Great Depression has left Canada's industry in a deplorable state, and the government insists that the nation needs to industrialize at an incredibly rapid pace. Yes, death to the communists. I agree with the sentiment. The Liberal plan put forward by City Howe suggests that Canada should focus on funding urban infrastructure and civilian economy that is combined with incentives should bring the needed investment, the military investment in the long run. The Conservative plan is to nationalise the needed armament and navy industries now and build them up with the government funding, even if the rest of Canada's industrial base lags behind. I think I'm actually going to go with civilian and arms industries. Oh, no, actually, no, I want the dockyards. Probably, I don't know. Since assuming his father's throne, this is actually kind of convenient because I'm about to increase his support, anyways. No, I don't like Amogus. I hate Amogus. King Edward has been lighting up the Canadian social scene, throwing parties at the royal estate and mingling with socialites on a regular basis. Indeed, the new king appears to be enjoying this new status, so much that it's led to the growing commentary in Canadian newspapers that Edward doesn't seem to be taking his role with the gravity that some would expect of a British exile, and one would argue of a British king. I saw him laughing and carrying on with the lords and ladies, one witness stated. You'd think he didn't have a care in the world? That he may as well have been back in London. Monarchists have been quick to defend the king, saying that his social appearances are quite normal and should be welcomed after George V's long period of reclusiveness following the royal exile of the Home Isles. Well done. Okay. Okay, King Edward's address. We did get some more support, so that's good. I won't read this because this happens every time. Legation cities collapse. So this is like Shanghai, Ningbo, Fugshu, Shantou, Hong Kong. A combination of these like European dominated cantons have collapsed. I don't know what that means specifically. I think it means that I'm actually not entirely sure. Usually that would mean the governor would step in and take over. Yeah, I support the war. Death to the communists. Domestic security. Canada has been able to avoid the bitter class war that has engulfed Britain after the Great War, but the conflict between Canadians and the British exiles is growing. Give me a sec. But conflict between Canadians, blah blah blah. Oh. God damn, this fuck. Whew. As has syndicalist sentiment among Canada's labour unions. Both the Conservatives and the Liberals have suggested the RCMP be granted sweeping powers. I think the RCMP is like the Secret Service for Canada. Sweeping powers to crack down on dissidents, with a minister to act as chairman on the parliamentary committee to oversee the process. So essentially, just as a way to control the RCMP as well. So essentially, we're electing a parliamentary committee. A minister who we would imagine would be a Tory, a Conservative, to be put on to supervise the ICMP and give them sweeping powers to essentially imprison and possibly even kill, execute anyone they deem to be a dissident. Anyways, the Conservatives have proposed Maxwell Knight, renowned hardliner and British exile, to be that chairman. Liberals, meanwhile, have said that Ernest Lapointe would do a better job. He may be a moderate in his views, but an MP from Quebec is far more in tune with French Canadians. Well, we don't like French Canadians. They are dissidents. We do not trust dissidents in positions of power. So we are going to go with Maxwell Knight. Go Maxwell Knight. Yeah. If Bill C7 is passed, the RCMP will be given special powers under the directorship of Maxwell Knight, the exile and pro-monarchist. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I am speaking a bit quickly, but that's mainly because I keep hiccuping and I can't stop the hiccups. So I usually just try and speak fast so I can say as much as I can between hiccups. Oh, the Norwegians have turned communist. Communism is spreading in Europe. So I'm just going to have a look at the ideologies map mode, just to give a better picture of who is communist and who is not. It's pretty bad. I'll just point out these colors probably not the best representation of what ideology. If you look closely, they're actually social democrats, so they're kind of on the border. They're not quite socialist. They're partly socialist, but not quite there. And of course, with the socialists, you also the syndicalists, as we call them. You do also have a variety of ideologies in that like branch. You gotta have like radical socialists, which I guess are different to the syndicalists. I'm not sure how they're different, but they're different. And then you've also got totalists, which are like the Stalinists. You know, the authoritarian autocrats. Sometimes even with a national populist slant, so they might even have like anti-Semitic, pro-nationalistic tendencies. Generally, with like, for example, in the case of the Union of Britain, you can elect a certain Oswald Mosley into power. Anyways, and with the Commune of France, you can elect. I'm actually not sure who you can elect. Like, there's a general that you can elect, but there's usually a coup in France when you do that. When that happens, which is pretty interesting. Coup d'etat in Algiers. Henry More Dark has taken over France, which is very interesting. So he's essentially a pro-Republican general, where Pétain was, of course, an autocrat, an authoritarian autocrat. If you, let's say, continue, I can't actually see the focus tree, but if you continue Pétain's dictatorship, he will be succeeded by, what's his name? Famous French general who became president of France after World War II. I forgot his name. But that guy, the one who was the leader of the Free French, he becomes the next dictator of France. We are so close to finishing Bill C7. Prepare for war. On Barratia. Oh, because they're at war with Thingo. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll help them out. Yeah, we'll get Claude Auchinleck and Montgomery, because historically they were actually assigned together. So we're going to do that. Let's go. Send them over. Bill C7 has passed, so now we have extensive conscription, and we have also got Maxwell Knight as Minister of the Interior. We're going to get national research there. I'm wondering how you can finish. That. Okay, so we're going to go down the economic tree until Quebec in flames. Because the Quebecois, of course, extremely untrustworthy. They will rebel against us. I suppose we should have seen this coming. They've already rebelled, so we're going to have to go and do that. Across Quebec, French Canadians have taken to the street in massive protests against the country's conscription policy. Of course, we are now doing extensive conscription, so they, of course, absolutely hate this. But now we have Maxwell Knight, the extremely anti-Quebecois, pro-monarchist, pro-autocratic Minister of the Interior, overseeing the RCMP, which is it's the Royal Canadian Military Police, I think is the acronym, but he is going to crack down on the Quebecois, and of course. Anyways, in Montreal alone, a massive crowd filled St. Catherine Street with loud chanting against both the Prime Minister as well as King Edward. It's a reenactment of the conscription crisis of 1917, but this time it seems the French Canadians have lost their patience. Again and again, we are called upon to shed French blood on behalf of the English wars in Europe. Quebec Premier Maurice Duplessis told a large and angry crowd in Quebec City, "We say no, and they tell us we must. Quebec will never be free of the English tyranny so long as it is a lapdog to English politicians." Alright, so Quebec in flames. We're going to bypass this. And now we're going to invoke the War Measures Act. So the Tories, the autocratic, democratic version of the Tories, becomes the ruling party. Public elections will not be held because we've enacted the War Measures Act, and essentially we've suspended the rights of Canadian citizens. Like I said, we're gonna stop holding elections because we are in a time of crisis. We are at war with enemies external and enemies within. The communists have infiltrated our country, and we need to stop these guys before they enact a coup against the king. So now we're going to enact the exiles, and they should work on the king's popularity. We're also going to bring our navy here, so here's what we're going to do. Just so we can, like, absolutely dominate. War Measures Act legislation, which grants the federal government sweeping powers to override civil liberties and ignore Parliament, has been passed. and read out to the House of Commons by King Edward, having only been enacted once before 1917 during the Great War. It is now being used to deal with the unrest in Quebec. The King's first act was to dismiss the Prime Minister, replacing him with former Conservative leader Arthur Meighen. As a result, the King has been a focal point of many Canadians who are protesting the government's move, saying the War Measures Act is unnecessary and tyrannical. So now we're going to be dealing with these Quebec who are revolting in our provinces, in our French, Francophilic provinces. So what we're going to do here, I think we're also losing stability. No, we're not losing stability. That's fine. Gibika. We're going to recruit a head of intelligence as well, while we're at it. Alright, and we're going to control the House of Commons. We need 20% support for the Tories. So, what we're going to do here, also, is try to we're going to solidify control. The government is increasingly becoming alarmed at the rapid developing crisis in the United States, particularly with the rise of the Socialist Party of America. A syndicalist-aligned nation on our southern border would be unthinkable. The violence is already terrible to the point that numerous state governors in the American Northeast, lacking confidence in the federal government to maintain order, has asked us to step in should civil war break out. We do not have to answer their request yet, but once the deadline ends, we may very well be forced to. Shit. I kind of wanted Alaska. We have planes. We do have planes. But no real infrastructure to place those planes, so I think I'm just gonna okay, we accept Belgium into the Entente. No. New England into desperate straits. Although the Crown had previously refused the request of New England governors to ensure their neutrality, since the cabinet had deemed further endangerment of the military position of the federal government unwise, the repeat of the request last night had brought different reaction, with the only alternative to the British intervention in the region being occupation by the forces of the combined syndicates. Even Cabinet and Privy Council Americophiles have warmed to the idea of intervening. We must help the the New Englanders. Welcome to the Dominion of Canada. Control the House of Commons. So once this fires off, we will be able to control Canada. We will enact permanent authoritarian autocratic rule over Canada as long as we stay, of course, which may be a while. I don't know. American Civil War has started. Has begun. Has it not begun? It hasn't begun yet. Let's see. Oh, that is very weird. Like, I find it strange that Alaska has gone to the Pacific States of America. I mean, one hopes that I will be able to take over. Yeah, we only hire the British in our wars. Okay, I'm going to join this war. Yeah, we need more oil. Okay, the American war has started. We're going to bypass this. And I think we're going to go with... We can't really talk about intervention quite yet, unfortunately. Okay, we're going to slow things down here. Where is my navy? Okay. Demonstrations across Canada. The purge of opposition in the House of Commons and the ending debate that have caused a wave of protests across Canada, with large demonstrations in Toronto and Vancouver filled with people calling the government un-Canadian and suggesting King Edward is using the protests in Quebec as an excuse to grab power. This is un-Canadian, said Mackenzie King at the Toronto protest, and solely a move by a desperate British government to force Canada's compliance when it is vulnerable. So far, the RCMP has been able to keep the demonstrations from turning violent, but the anger among Canadians is running deep. Fuck the Canadians. We're British, motherfucker. We're here to stay. Want to join your Hoi4 Discord server? No? No, maybe. I don't know. It really depends. I'll think about it. No, I don't really play RP myself personally. Just because I play these games really just because I like the power creep. Okay, expanded conscription policies, which mobilization speed, recruitment, population factor. We'll do that. So this, I guess, this is a way to force the Quebecois to join my war. British exiles drafted, division organization 5%, starting level of new army leaders +1, max planning +20%, and more manpower in 30 days. Yes. We won't be expanding the secret police, not yet at least. We will only really be doing that, I think, when party popularity is increased above 20%, then it is the perfect time to do that. No, not isn't. It isn't. Once we have gone paternal autocrat, it will be the perfect time. I need to wait 137 days before that is possible. Let me check. Yeah, okay. They're not improving government support. They're improving the support of the monarchy. So, yeah, can't rely on the British exiles. Alaska requests intervention. Yes, we should move in. We are now the owners of Alaska. I love this thick Canada. It's so good. Edward takes time off. After raising concerns from the king's physicians regarding his personal health, King Edward has informed the Canadian government that he's going to be taking some personal time off away from his public duties over the next few months. Alright. I guess so. That's not too bad. Yeah, we'll be producing more light tanks. In fact, we'll make better tanks. Okay, we're gonna slow down here. Okay. Alright, here's a better idea. We'll do like this. So we just move more troops and increase the front. And we'll maintain a garrison over here as well, so I don't... There we go, come on, hurry up. Just wondering, is it when it's removed? If I can find it. When selected. Yeah, so I have to do it, I have to time it right. New England question. Continue with the military occupation. We can't let them free. Yeah, no, we need the canal. Oh, nice. Take that, Panama. finished in 1914, the Panama Canal is one of the most important passageways on the American continent, controlled by the United States until now. With the outbreak of the Second American Civil War, the federal government was forced to withdraw the canal's maritime forces, leaving it open to invasion. And to little surprise, the Panamanian troops launched an operation to take back such a valuable area. This move, however, was opposed by Canada, which presented them an ultimatum. Panama would ultimately cease their invasion until now in the face of Canadian pressure. Haha. And the small Latin nation American has backed down, diffusing the crisis. Okay, so we're going to go and split this off. We're going to look for a pro-exile tank officer, if there is one. We'll go with this guy. Hawaiians wish to join. Well, these are pro-American Hawaiians. Yes. Old school Americans in Hawaii. There we go. So most of their control points are actually in this direction, so we're going to try and get those. Nice. Did they reduce their front line? I think they just did. It's so strange. It's unusual behavior from the AI. I've got to say. I mean, smart. That's a smart idea. They should do that for sure. That's what I would have done. But they did it. It's crazy. What? It's heresy. Okay, so we're gonna get these guys, split them off. I'm gonna take advantage of this this point and just like encircle these forces. If I can. I mean, they're running out of troops. So it makes sense too. So if I can, like, you know, encircle that. No, I can't. But I can. What I can do is reassign troops. Yeah. Now we know. Oh, okay. The Belgrade Pact is forming. The Dominion of Canada relies a great deal on trade routes that go into the United States, while the Civil War has benefited us in some ways, namely that orders for Canadian goods from abroad have increased as American sources have become unreliable. The fact is, and many of our exports have gone to America itself. With our biggest customer now an unreliable destination, our economy is left reeling and attempting to figure out what to do until the Civil War has ended. The American Union state is actually winning against the syndicates. Very interesting. Oh, that's weird. So these infantry divisions are actually faster. If I can find... I'll get some cavalry divisions. So give us a pro... This guy's actually kind of perfect for fighting in India. If I can find more... RCMP forces. And we will sit here. Like this. Yankee Rebellion. No, we're not gonna let them rebel against us. While our intention upon occupying New England was to safeguard the locals from the ravages of the American Civil War, it seems many of them had taken to exception. Several leaders in Boston have publicly accused Canada of desiring solely to return to the area of British rule, to squeeze whatever we can out of the region so that we can return to the home isles, and that they would have been better off throwing their lot in with their American brothers and sisters. The fever pitch in the area has reached the point where we have to consider our plan for New England self-government or face a period of uprisings. This will amount to nothing. The Americans will see the benefits of being integrated into the great nation of England. The Great English Federation. Austria has declared war against Hungary. I think I understand why this is... No, I don't understand why this is having issues. Maybe it's because of supply. Because I don't have enough light tanks. So it's like infantry divisions. Yep, we pretty much won here. +5. Refugees flood into Buffalo. With the situation in America worsening, it's no surprise that the Dominion of Canada has become the top destination for those fleeing the violence. Many of the immigrants are legal, but an increasingly large number are not. There are several refugee camps in Buffalo, many of them coming from Philadelphia, and their numbers are putting a strain on our supplies. observers comment that this situation is going to get worse before it gets better. Alright. Okay, where are these tanks? Stop moving. We want to go to Patna. I'm going to break you off from there. Strategically redeploy so we can get there. Between Hui and Buddhists. Oh, it's these guys, right? Yes, let's do that. I agree with this wholeheartedly. Death to the British. Death to the communists. Death to the French. Police crackdown. Where is this? Oh no, thanks. Clashes in Windsor. City of Windsor lies directly across from Detroit, a stronghold of the syndicalist combined states of America. We've suspected now that the syndicalist agents have crossed the border recently. Some with the refugees, and now it seems that relief has been vindicated, with the city being engulfed in clashes between industrial workers and the police. Oh well, that's not cool. Trade mission, yes. Oh man, what? Oh yeah, because we're no longer at war. $15, that's all it takes. Nice. Oh, should have gone with war economy. Fuck. Oh, whatever. Damn it. The labor unions have risen up in sympathy strikes for the combined syndicates of America. Formation of the Russian Accord. Oh, this is an alliance. King Edward has taken the unprecedented move. Let's have a look at the influence. Alright, we already have very low popularity, so this is not too bad. And we're directing the exiles to increase our popularity. King Edward has taken the unprecedented move of suspending the Canadian Parliament and establishing a military government. Though on the surface the King is acting through the Conservative Prime Minister and his cabinet, it is clear that the British exiles are now firmly, even if unofficially, in charge of the country. The King is acting through blah blah blah. Okay, so the King's action is widely seen as one born of emergency and a temporary measure intended to get Canada through the war and the Home Isles finally reclaimed. Nice. Demonstrations against the King were half-hearted and quickly put down by security forces, with only a handful of newspapers lamenting that Canada was now a colony once more. Yes, we've done it. Canada is now a colony again. Nice. What a mess. Yeah, investing in Brazil. Hopefully that increases their chance that they may join us. Oh, nice. Albany situation worsens. Nice. More construction speed, more factory output, more monthly population, more supply consumption, more stability, less consumer goods factories. I mean, more consumer goods factories means less civilian factories for us. Parliament has been engulfed by argument over what to do regarding the American refugees. Doing nothing is not an option. But many MPs are saying that a massive relief effort is needed to improve conditions in the camps. The expense, they say, is justified because Americans are our brothers and sisters, and we must care for them in their hour of need. In a similar vein, Louis Saint Laurent has proposed what he calls Project Samaritan, an even broader relief effort spreading out the camps and housing refugees with average Americans. They're the most able, would be able to work alongside factory workers and labourers, a far better life than doing nothing inside a camp. Which is actually a pretty good idea, actually. That's all we're going to do. Marklika, Mongolia. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that thin strip of China. Oh, that's terrible. Very interesting. I see. Would you recognize the Pacific states as the least irredentist form of American in this war? A new leader of Western India has come to Ottawa. After the magnificent allegiance to the king, a series of diplomatic meetings took place. After 3 days, the visit has come to an end. Our alliance has strengthened even more, but at the cost of the visit. Representatives of the West Indies have begun to increasingly bold demands. We must decide whether we will send them demanded help and allow our relationship to blossom, or also it will allow these to strengthen the new government in Kingston. But is the stability of West India more important than the interests of Canadians? Yeah, no, we want to strengthen the empire. The British must maintain their empire against syndicalist threats. And if the stability of this new administration will assist us in this regard, then yes. File address to the Entente. No. Kaiserreich Tab Canada Baya Kanzaya. Yes, I am playing as Canada, but I don't know what the hell that means. Okay, let's have a look at Canadian political decisions. I am still suppressing the Quebecois at this current moment. I am still dealing with Yankee rebellions, but I am very close to finishing solidifying control over these said lands. It doesn't seem like we're going to have the troops to fight the Princely Federation anytime soon, so we're going to start moving our forces elsewhere. Like America, for example, because we're going to have to go deal with those guys. Portugal has joined the Entente. Nice. Nice. Ah, yeah. What made you think I was Turkish? Yeah, it kind of is ridiculous, but I like it. It's fun to play as. I think I'm going to keep increasing the king's popularity. I do get a lot of Turkish viewers. I want to say that, so maybe that's why you thought I was Turkish. How do I do that? I want to do that. Yankee Rebellion is over. Yes, it has taken many months, but it appears the so-called Yankee Rebellion in New England is over. Resistance leaders have either been captured or fled, and the remaining local governments all seem to be on board with the Canadian government. Australia. Yeah, it's very early in Australia, so you probably haven't seen many Australian viewers. Spurred on, one imagines, by the pictures of devastation throughout the rest of America playing across their newspaper pages, we should see no further trouble in the area. Labour leaders across the country have called for strikes, enough to cripple the Canadian economy and causing disruption from one end of the nation to the other. There are those in our government who suggest the strikes are all too suspiciously timed. This is probably an effort by the combined syndicates of America to cause revolution before we can act. Well, let's just take that, because I'm gonna declare war on these guys. What the fuck? Oh, fuck. Goddamn Canadian. Goddamn Americans. Okay, well, now at least I'm gonna fix my, my stability issues. Brazilian royal visit. The Imperial of Brazil, Antonio Gastal, visited the Dominion of Canada today, and his trip was quite pleasant. Not much happened. Oh yeah, I've been doing this 10 years. Well, I mean, on and off, really. I haven't really maintained like a constant presence on YouTube. It's more recent. I think I got like especially popular. I mean, I don't get many views when I stream, but I get lots of views when I upload videos. Um, so like this, what did I do? So it was like 5 months ago. I've uploaded a CK3 video, and it's got like 50,000 views now. It's pretty good. No! You were the chosen one. Too many troops, eh? Oh yeah. Something like that, yeah. I might come out with another CK3 video because there's this mod where the West, it's an old Dark Ages mod. Say old CK3, so it would have been, it's been in development since the start of CK3. But yeah, I'm thinking I might play that soon and see if I can do a world conquest with that. Playing as the Western Roman Empire. I thought it was too easy in CK2, and I'm hoping it isn't in CK3. Because I felt like expanding in CK2, like despite what everyone says, right? I think CK3, I mean, in spite of all its like streamlining and everything like that, it is a more difficult game than CK2. If you think about doing like the path of least resistance, um, CK2, there really isn't that much resistance, even with, let's say, with if you turn on coalitions, there really isn't much in the way of resistance. And like to your expansion, so when I'm playing as the Western Roman Empire, I was just steamrolling like crazy after I defeated the Lombards. It's a new sequel and people like it. Oh yeah, yeah, no, definitely. It is. It's a really good sequel. I'm just saying because like there are a lot of people on the forums. Well, it's a significant amount of people. This is not the majority, but just like people complaining that they don't like CK3 compared to CK2 because they feel like it's too easy. But it's like they say that, but like then they clearly didn't know how to play CK2 like really well. Because if you did, you'd know that CK2 is definitely much easier. Because they limit the amount of expansion options you have in the skill tree, and it takes much longer to actually like build up power. Because I used to play in up around here when I play CK2, like in Siberia, and just as a challenge, and it's fairly difficult because you've got like low low supply, so you can only field armies as big as like 1k in this area. But I'd usually play up there for the challenge. But expanding from there was actually really easy because you had like everything you needed to expand in terms of like, yeah. the Turkish economy is fucked up. Yeah, I've heard something like that. I've heard that your prime minister is trying to trying to um I don't know what he's trying to do really, like with the economy. With a lot of economists around the world are like his economy strategy makes no sense. Um, it's very Stalin-esque in a way. No, but yeah, like a lot. But essentially, what I mean to say is like a lot of people like just blame him for the bad economy. Yeah, like as in like there were no like external factors that led to the economy crashing. It was just him like meddling with stuff he didn't know what he was doing with. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, no. I hear he might actually get elected out if he doesn't meddle with the elections. He's a weird populist. I mean, like he's not as crazy as like what's his name in Brazil, Bolsonaro, but he's just a bit. I don't know. He's autocratic. No, yeah, definitely. He's hmm. No. Well. He won't win in the next election if he doesn't meddle with the election. There's always a chance that he might plan some coup before the election and blame the opposition Democratic parties for this coup and start on arresting them. There's always a chance that he might do that because you can never put anything past him. He's got that kind of ego. Okay, so the American Union state and the Pacific States of America are fighting against the combined states, which is pretty good. I'm actually going to wait until the Pacific States win their war. Turkey is not Russia, bro. Oh, it could be Russia, though. It could be. There's always a chance. Give it a push, bit of a push. All right, crises. Buildings burning down, and eventually, your leader may have justification for yeah. In the past, another guy tried that. Oh yeah. Deal with the devil. Nice. Death to the communists. Oh, the communists might actually get pushed back here. And obviously, they're still building up their front here, but it feels like the Pacific States might be able to push back. Even left-wing politics, nationalists in Turkey because of Ataturk. Mustafa Kemal. Yeah, nah, for sure. Or even you can even argue not even just him, like even before, um, like the people that Ataturk tended to align himself with were fairly nationalist as well, like the Young Turks. So yeah, nah, definitely, for sure. Well, I mean, Turkey's had a past. Um, probably not the best when it comes to. I mean, because the whole self determination thing back in the 1920s and 30s. You could argue because of said nationalism, there were a lot of, you could argue, ethnic conflicts that may or may not have been caused by Turkey. And not even just Turkey, like with the United States' assistance as well, because fucking Woodrow Wilson was a big, big proponent um, of national self-determinism, which like it completely fucked up because of how like nationalism was a very strong thing in Europe and in Turkey, of course. Um, like you often found that a lot of nations tended to start kicking out minorities and stuff like that, or persecuting minorities because of this because of because it was essentially condoned by the American government through self-determination. Like each nation has a right to, or at least each ethnicity has a right to build a nation around its ethnicity and so forth. So weird, but that's how it worked back in those days. Woodrow Wilson was a pretty fucking terrible president, I gotta say. Oh man. Quebecois ringleaders were arrested. Nice. Haha. We've done it. The arrests have already sparked another series of protests, with French Canadians turning up in droves to demand the government release the patriotic activists immediately. Oh no, fuck off. You Quebecois, you funny. You so funny. None of these guys have the strength to fight. Oh shit. That's also very interesting. So you've got some syndicalists in Argentina as well. Ah, thanks. Oh, look at this. Look at this, these specific states. Really? What the hell? Oh, that is weird. So weird. Alright, we're going to found the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. That's going to help solidify our presence in the country. We need a way to propagate our propaganda, as it were. Oh, nice. The Americans love the king. Very quality. Nationwide strikes. Fucking hell. No, we want Bernie Foulier or Fuller. Oh shit. Nice. Oh, very interesting. I might actually join this war. No. Oh, I get the feeling it's too late. T. Lawrence is dead. Killed by the communists. Oh, the desert. Nice. Syndicalism on the Imperial Broadcasting Network. Put Ruth in charge of the CBC. Exile arrested. Let's see. The government must intervene. Nice. Okay, cool. Alright, I think I want to save the game, because I'm going to go now, it's a bit late. I'll see you. I'll be back. I don't know, 8 hours. See ya.